Well, Nat, thanks for taking the time to join us. Start with your assessment of the game at Leeds on Saturday. How did you see it? What did you make of it?
I think obviously we went with a game plan. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew that they were going to dominate most of possession. And the idea was to sort of stay resolute in defence and try and hit on the break. But unfortunately, the goals before half-time changed the game. And then it was a bit of a frustrating afternoon for us.
Talk to me about mindset going into a game like that against a side near the top of the table. They've won 6 in a row. As you said, you know you're not going to see a lot of the ball. How do you sort of mentally prepare for that sort of a game?
Yeah, I think once you've addressed that and you sort of know that that's the case, I think it's important that the whole team are on the same wavelength and everyone's executing the job as planned, and trying to carry out the instructions that have been given to us. But yeah, unfortunately for us, I think the goals kind of changed it really, because we knew once we go behind, then you've got to go after the game a bit more.
I know you said you go there with a game plan, and some people seem to take that as being, you've decided that you've lost before the game's kicked off. I mean, that clearly isn't how you're going into it, is it?
No, not at all. We want to win every game, and there are different ways to win games. Like you said, going to Leeds, there's not many teams that have gone there and got a result. So we were aware of that, and we were trying to approach the game in the best way that we thought we could get a result. But yeah, like I say, the idea was to try and have answers for what they threw at us in our defensive actions, and try and catch them out on the break with our speed up top.
Things don't get much easier for you on Tuesday away at Burnley, another side who are right up there. Is there anything from Saturday that you can take into that one?
I think there were spells in the Leeds game where I think when we were a bit more brave in possession, we showed that we can keep the ball and move it quite well, and we've got ability in the squad to do that. So I think if we can try and take those moments into the next game and take confidence from those moments, and maybe try and hold on to the ball a bit longer, and not being as much as a rush to go forward, then that's maybe something we can take forward.
We're nearly at the halfway mark of the season now. You've played almost everybody in the Championship, and you had experience in the division last year as well. Is there a gap at all between the teams at the top, sort of the handful of teams at the top, and the rest of the division, in your opinion?
Not a huge one, no. I think it gets said every year that this Championship's always so tight and anyone can beat anyone. So we're aware of that as a squad, and that's why we go into every game believing that we can take points and get good results, and it'll be no different going into the next game. It's still, it's a busy period now. Sometimes this period can define how the back end of the season is going to look, or certainly shape how it's going to look. So it's important that we try and get as many good results as possible.
We know it's not been a great run in terms of results for you of late, and we don't need to go into the details, but what's the mood in the group at the moment amongst that?
It's still good, yeah. It's a good group of guys. So we're obviously, there is an element of we're not happy where we are in the table and not happy with how results have been going lately, but we're also aware of the quality we've got in the team, and in cases like this, especially when the schedule's busy, you just want to get on to the next game and on to the next game. Like you say, there's been a few disappointing results of late, but in some of those performances, like the Chef Wes one, there were decent performances. So we need to sort of stay confident and keep faith in what we can do as a team.
It is a busy week. You play Tuesday, then you play Friday as well before you get a couple of days. I always hear, though, from players they'd rather be playing than training, right?
Yeah, always, yeah. Especially, like you say, after a disappointing result or a few disappointing results, you want to just get into the next game and turn that around as quickly as possible.